I am not affiliated. I am not sponsored. This is mashed potatoes. That is not true because they know better than I do. If there's no. I press start, y'all. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. But we are inside today, y'all, because I have gotten some questions about my freeze dryer. So I put up a post in the community section, the post section, whatever it is called, depending on where you are and what device you're on. I put up a post and I said, do you have any questions? And then I also asked in a video, like, do you have any questions? And surprisingly, people have questions. And so with that being said, we're gonna talk about the freeze dryer today. One of the biggest things that I want to show you all from the beginning is where my freeze dryer is. When I first wanted to get a freeze dryer, I could not tell where people had it in their house. And when I could tell, it was in like a basement, or it was in an outbuilding, or it just wasn't in an actual room of a house. And I don't have a basement. I don't have an outbuilding. I didn't want to put it on my back porch. So I was like, are people using these inside their house? I do want to show you first where it is. And then I'm going to break this up into different videos because there were a lot of different questions. I don't want to make this like a super long video. Plus, I don't know the answers to all of them. And so if I can go and find the answers and give it a try, that kind of stuff, before I come back and tell you, that's what I would like to do. But today, I'm going to answer the questions that I can. I'm going to give you the information that I was already thinking about sharing with you all as well. We're going to talk about where my freeze dryer is. I'm going to show you where I store my stuff. And I live in a smaller home, so just know that it's not going to be anything spectacular. And we're going to talk about the setup, because I will be honest, the setup scared me. I got my machine probably a month before I actually set it up, because I had things going on in life and I was like, I have to be able to pay attention to what is going on here because I don't want to mess this machine up. And there was one thing in particular that I did not know, and had I not read that manual, because y'all know I hate reading the manual, but I definitely read the manual for this because it was an investment. One of the questions that people are asking me is like, how can you get it for less than $1,500 or $2,500? I don't know. I don't know, because I paid within that range. I got mine on the Black Friday sale, but we're going to talk about what I paid for it and all of that. We're going to talk about all of that today. But before we get into talking about the freeze dryer, I want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, Ritual. Thank you, Ritual, for sponsoring this video. If you are new to my channel and you have never heard of Ritual, Ritual offers dietary supplements that are made traceable. That just means they tell you where their labeled ingredients come from, why they're there, and how their products are validated. My favorite product from Ritual is the Essentials Protein 18+, but I also like the Essentials for Women 18+. It is a clean, high quality multivitamin for women 18 to 49, and it helps to fill key nutrient gaps in the diet. I just have to take 2 mint essence capsules a day. But now to my favorite product, Essentials Protein 18+. It is a clean, plant-based protein powder, and it helps to form lean muscles and to help with muscle recovery after exercise. It is soy-free, it is gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and formulated without GMOs. Also has no stevia, no sugar alcohols, artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners. It's actually the first protein of its kind to be sweetened with sugarcane and monk fruit. And if that was not enough, it is made with peas grown in the USA. Ritual keeps it simple with just 10 premium ingredients. I just use 1 scoop a day to make a protein shake that is rich and has a smooth taste with 0 carbs. And all of their products have been very easy on my stomach, so I can take it with food or without food. And additionally, Ritual's products are subscription based, so it will be delivered monthly. There will be no worries about running out. If you're interested in learning more about Ritual's made traceable products, you can use the link down in my description to get 25% off your first order. Thanks again, Ritual, for helping me fill nutrient gaps and for sponsoring this video. Okay, so on to the freeze dryer, y'all. So listen, what I was going to do, I was gonna cut this chicken up so we could put it into the freeze dryer together, but I completely forgot I have to pre-freeze it. We'll get into all of that. I'm gonna say in the second video about pre-freezing, just about using it. We'll run a whole entire batch, but I think today it would be a good idea just to kind of talk through through the freeze dryer, look at the freeze dryer, see what I am talking about. So like I said, a dehydrator uses heat to basically dry the moisture out of food, as I understand it. I will maybe put a definition of what a dehydrator is on the top because I am not a teacher. I always say that. And I don't do just a lot of research either. So with that being said, freeze dryer freezes the food first. And I also just put it in the freezer and let it freeze for at least 24 hours. Then I put it in the machine and the machine will freeze it to a certain temperature. I think it takes it down to -10. Once it is frozen, then heat comes on to dry it out. I am going for longevity, nutrition, and me actually using it after I do it. I have tried canning. I don't know if I was successful or not because I would not use the products. And dehydrating, I do dehydrate. I definitely dehydrate herbs. The reason I got my freeze dryer is because it's going to allow me to actually preserve food and use it. I'm already doing it. For me, I need to know that what was supposed to happen happened. With the freeze dryer, I can weigh my food all the way through. And when I don't see a change in weight, that's when I know all of the moisture is out. So for me, this was worth it in my personality. Because one of the questions I get is it worth it? I can't say if it's worth it for you. It is worth it for me though. So let's get into looking at the machine. I'm going to tell you what came with it. I'm going to show you how you hook it up, all of that stuff. And then we are going to talk about, I don't know what we're going to talk about, y'all. I'm just going to talk and I hope it's helpful. That's what I'm going to say. My dishes are not done. I just want to show you the size of my kitchen, right? So this is where my freeze dryer is. And it's over here on the table. You will need a very sturdy table. I tried this with a table from like Walmart, a fold out table, one of the plastic ones. It did not work. So the table that is on was our kitchen table. I got it from Wayfair. It was okay, but it was sturdy. And so I just decided to use that for my kitchen table. And then I got another kitchen table, which I actually like a little bit better anyway. But you are going to need a sturdy table. And so this is the pump. I wanted to put the pump under the table. So I have a tote under the table. You need something sturdy for this pump too, okay? The pump also has oil in it. That was one of the things that made me nervous. I was like, can I run this in my house? I have not noticed any smoke or anything coming out of it. We also have carbon monoxide alarms all through our house. Never gone off for carbon monoxide. Oh, you have the option to do oilless. The oilless pump is expensive. I cannot remember the amount. If I look it up, I'll put it on the screen. But the oilless pump is expensive. The oil-free pump is what it's called, is expensive. And this pump came with it. So I went with this pump. I was able to find maybe like 2 people. I found a girl doing van life and she had her freeze dryer in her van. And I was like, well, if that's not in the same vicinity, then what is? And then I was able to find another couple who had theirs in their dining room. So I was like, well, people are using them in their house. I am using mine in my house. I have not had a problem with it. So this is the pulse sealer, also comes with it. So when you're doing your storage, this is how you're gonna seal your bags. And I will show you the bags, and it comes with bags as well. This is the actual machine. I did get the medium, and the medium comes with 5 trays, and the Element has 5 spots. I purchased an extra set of trays. I think they were like $79, but I did purchase an extra set of trays directly from Harvest Right, so that when I had something in the freezer, I could also have something in the freeze dryer, so that when I'm done with whatever is in the freeze dryer, I could take the next group out and put it into the freeze dryer to run. Now, what I will tell you is it runs for a long time. It depends on what you're doing. Most batches take more than 24 hours. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So this is my setup. I have a bunch of things in here, like the vacuum sealer for the cans. I'll show you what I have in there. I just bought some of the silicone molds because there's something I want to try. I haven't used them yet. And I also did buy the tray lids. They have been very helpful. But anywho, oh, I did buy the Wi-Fi dongle. I wouldn't buy it again, but I'm not going to return it. It works when it wants to work. Anywho, first things first, like the biggest thing thing that I think people will want to know is this has a plug, right? It should not be plugged into the wall. It should be plugged into the freeze dryer. I'm in some freeze dry groups too, just because I don't know everything. I don't know everything and I am learning. And I have seen where people have that plugged into their wall and it's causing them issues. That's because it's supposed to be plugged into the machine. They send you 2 books. They send you a book. Let me show you. They send you a book with just the pump information. Well, they send you 3 books. So they send you one with just the pump information in it, right? That's very helpful. They send you one for the machine. I know y'all won't believe it, but I read every page of both of those books because I did not want to mess this up price-wise. Before taxes, I don't know what it was after taxes, but before taxes on their Black Friday sale, this was a $2,200 machine. I saved up for it. They do have a program that you can do, so that is the cost. I'm all over the place, y'all. I sure hope this is helpful. If it's not, I apologize. And then they send you this so that you can have recipes and different things that you can freeze dry. Tells you how to rehydrate things, all that kind of stuff. And we will do that kind of stuff together too. I guess I'm gonna make this into somewhat of a series, and then I'm hoping to also be a little more put together with it. But I'm not put together with none of my videos. So if you're not new here, I feel like you can follow with what I'm doing because I'm never put together. I did order this book, which I thought was very helpful. It was $24.99. And at first I was like, do I need this book? I thought it was very helpful because I can turn to any page. I have some pages folded that will tell me how to like rehydrate things. It also has different recipes and stuff in it too. So I did buy this book too. After a while, the only thing I bought when I first bought this was the machine and the things that come with the machine, which was the machine, a set of 5 trays, the pump, a oil filter, oil, those manuals that I showed you, the pulse sealer, and bags. So all of that came with the machine. And for me, I thought it was a good idea. Someone was asking me about other freeze dryers. The only other one that I looked at was Blue Alpine, I think. They were more expensive. Now, they are more expensive, but they are made in the US. As I understand it, like it would be easy if something happened to the Blue Alpine. The Blue Alpine. Did I say Alpine? I'm pretty sure it's Alpine. Anyway, as I understand it, it would be easier for you to get things fixed. I have not had an issue where I needed to get anything fixed on mine so far. The only thing that was an issue for me in the beginning was having the vacuum seal catch. And because I'm in freeze drying groups, I was able to find an answer to that, which was just pull the gasket away from the machine a little bit. I've had no problems with it since. I've had no problems with my machine at all. And I have seen people say that they have, and that just has not been my experience. I am not affiliated. I am not sponsored. I purchased this machine and anything else with this machine myself. Just letting you know. All right, other things that you may want to know is over in this corner, I have a bucket. Basically, when I defrost, whether I make the machine defrost it or whether I just leave the door open, this is where the water goes once it melts. Now, depending on what you freeze dry, it could smell exactly like what you freeze dry. So I've done onions. Baby, that water smelled like onions. So you got to dump that. So that tubing that comes with it, that's where your water is going to come out, but you need to dump that bucket. Oh, one of the questions people wanted to know, I'm getting tired of holding that camera. One of the questions that people wanted to know is, can you get it out the box and plug it in, or do you need a special plug? For the small and the medium, you do not need a special plug. You can plug it right into the plug in your wall. Now, what I will tell you is if you have an older home like myself, you probably want to have someone come in and put a dedicated plug in for you. So I had to do that for my dryer. When I brought my dryer upstairs, I had to have somebody come in and put a plug in for the dryer. You don't need a special plug, but you need a dedicated plug. For me, when I am running the freeze dryer, I cannot run my microwave, but I do because I have all powers generators. I just plug the microwave into the all powers generator for the time that this freeze dryer is running. It has worked fine. I am probably going to get a dedicated plug though, because if I forget to put the all powers generator over by the microwave, one of my children will in fact start that microwave and it will trip the circuit. You don't need a special plug, no, but you do need a dedicated plug. And I'm pretty sure in the book they tell you like to put it in a plug by itself. That is the machine itself. That's what comes with the machine. Oh, One of the things that everybody wants to know on Instagram is how much electricity am I using? Y'all, I don't know yet. So what happened was last year my heat was out. My furnace went out at this time, not this time, but like January, February time, we were using heaters because I don't know. I didn't get it fixed, but it is fixed now. It's been fixed for a while. Anyway, so we were using heaters. So I haven't really been able to see because I haven't had a bill that was normal. Last month would have been that month, but then I had so much going on in life that I hardly ran the machine. So hopefully this month, and I try to run my machine once a week. Sometimes I run it twice a week because I'm trying to work on doing at least 7 days worth of food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner stored for us. The thing is, I'm using it too. So the days that I don't want to go to the grocery store or there's one ingredient that I need, I'll go downstairs and use it, which makes me super happy, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, because I have tried other preservation methods and I have not felt comfortable enough to go and use it. It's crazy. For me, this is so worth it because I'm actually using it. And when I rehydrate it, it tastes like it did when I first put it in. I'm loving it. So, okay, let's go downstairs. I'm gonna show you where I'm keeping everything. Now, y'all, if you got any questions or if you'd like me to structure this a little bit different, again, I'm not a structured person. I don't structure nothing. It's awful. It's not awful. I do structure some stuff. I don't structure my videos because I just feel like it would make me not want to make the videos. Anywho, let's go downstairs. So this is what I came up with. This is the same room that grows my seedlings. What I did was I went and got some crates. I labeled all of the crates and they have things in them that I have freeze dried. For instance, these are potatoes that I cut into French fry strips. This is mashed potatoes and I'm using the mashed potatoes at an alarming rate. So I need to get some more potatoes and do some more of those. Over here, we have sweet potatoes. We have cayenne peppers, carrot rounds. There's all different things in here. And I used some of my carrot rounds when I made some broth, which I also freeze dried. That is freeze dried chicken broth, y'all. So I did get some blackout curtains just because when I had the seedlings down here, the lights were on. What I didn't want to do is ruin this food that I had saved. Like for instance, this is stuff that I dried. These are calendula flowers. But if you see, I didn't have a white calendula flower. That was yellow. Pretty sure the light did that to this. This is stuff I dehydrated or let air dry. Everything over here I have freeze dried. Some stuff I will put into the bags. That's for like long term. Should be for long term storage. And then the stuff over here I'm using. So like this is hamburger. Hamburger rehydrated well. I was very excited. I only did, I want to say like 1 pound of it because I wanted to see how it rehydrated. This stuff over here I will use now. Right here we have some honeydew melon. I didn't like it. Cantaloupe. I didn't like it. And I think because I have it out of the view, my daughter doesn't think about it because she was okay with that stuff. Cilantro. Look how pretty and green that cilantro is. Beautiful. Over here, we also have some asparagus, which I forgot to blanch. So I don't know how that's going to rehydrate, but we're going to find out. Chives back here that I have freeze dried. Right here, you got some cubed potatoes. Those rehydrated really well. You can see I've used some of those. You got more French fries cut right there and more French fries back there. This is fresh tomatoes. So I just powdered it and I can use it to make sauces and things. You got spaghetti back here. It's just 1 jar. I probably should have did more than 1 jar. We got green beans in here and then more green beans back there. So this stuff I will use now. Like I said, we'll rehydrate it together. I was surprised at how well the potatoes rehydrated. What else is back here? Basil. Look how green that basil is. It is preserving a lot of the color too. I've noticed that and we love that. And this, I've been using this like a lot. Like I said, that is chicken broth. When I finish that other chicken, I'm going to make the broth from the bones. This is actual chicken right here. So if I wanted to make something like a soup, some chicken dip, any of that, I could use that chicken right there. And then like I said, we got hamburger. We have like staples here. So we got got diced onions in here, buttermilk. So yeah, you can freeze dry liquids too. We have just regular milk, shredded Mexican cheese, stuff like this that has a lot of oil may not last as long. I will be using this cheese as well. I just didn't put it all into a jar because we actually have jars upstairs too. So that's how I'm storing my stuff. You got fruit up there, you got snacks down here, herbs, meals. So like I do my meals in ingredients, if that makes sense. I do have soup and spaghetti that's already put together, but like I did the ingredients to make beef lo mein. I did the ingredients to make faux chipotle bowls. I like to do them in ingredients just in case I don't need that whole meal, but I need an ingredient. That's how we store our food. Oh, the filter. So that's the filter that comes with the machine. So when it is time to change your oil, you can run it through this filter and put it back in the machine. I do not know how many times you can do that, but I do know that you can do that. I have not had to change my oil just yet, but when I do, we can do it together. So I'm gonna turn the machine on and we can look at what, you know, the screen and stuff looks like too. And I can show you some of my batches so you can see like the length of time. Okay, so I heard somebody say that this thing was like no louder than a refrigerator. That is not true. That is not true. Like if you're planning on getting this, that is not true. You have to talk louder when it is on. I do watch things on my phone, like if I'm in here cooking and it's on, but it is loud. The machine itself is not as loud as it is when the pump kicks on. When you first turn it on, the machine is freezing, just the machine. When it's time to vacuum it and then start to freeze dry it, it's loud. I'm gonna show y'all at some point. I don't have stuff to put in here right now. If you're thinking about it, and if you're thinking like you gotta have it in a common space in your house, it is much louder. And somebody said a dishwasher. It's louder than a dishwasher too. So I just want to tell y'all that. I want to be honest with y'all. It's not like lawnmower loud or drill loud, but it's a loud machine. Anyway, this is what your screen looks like. I've never run candy, so I can't tell y'all about that. I'm really focused on preserving food at this point. Custom, I've never used it, but I think this is where you could change like your dry time. Let's just push it, right? Yes. So you can change the initial temperature that things freeze down to. So mine goes down to -10 before it will start vacuum sealing. If I want to freeze things for more time, I can do that too. However, I pre-freeze everything. I've never had to use that. The drying temperature, I leave it because they know better than I do. So we're gonna do cancel. If you go here, this is where you can like test it when you first come on, and you can do diagnostic. The first time I ever ran it to test it, this is what I did, but I also did the bread run, which that's just where you put bread in here and it helps to get any of the smell and stuff from being built. So you run bread the first time. Anywho, I don't know what all this stuff is down here, but I think that, oh look, set color. I was looking for that. You can change the color, so let's go with purple. Oh, how pretty. So you can have it change the color and stuff. I know people do not care about that. Batch history, there it goes. I ran something on 4/6. I can't remember what it was, who knows, but it ran for 33 hours. It does appear that I have had something that ran less. So I was wrong when I said that. Anyway, but this was also when I was first starting, so it's quite possible that things didn't even dry all the way. It is what it is. We'll find out when we go to open them. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think that I was weighing my stuff. I was just kind of cracking it. At this point, I weigh my stuff the whole way through. I have this scale and it's in grams and it's in point grams too. I weigh my trays each time they come out, and I don't say that they're finished until I have a weight that does not change. And I normally always add at least 2 hours to make sure it has the ability to lose some of the moisture in it. So I feel like that's a good start because this video, I've been talking for 42 minutes. So I feel like this is a good start. The next time we come here together, we will be actually running the machine. If there's, no, I pressed start, y'all. Hold on, cancel. Girl, but did you hear the machine? That's how loud it is. That's just the machine. I don't know how I did that. Anyway, I'm waiting for my garden harvest to come along so that I can start freeze drying that. But what I am doing right now is I'm watching the sales ads. And also, if there's a meal that we really like, I'm also freeze drying those meals. I will cook more so that I can put them in the freeze dryer. I'm excited about it. I'm looking, y'all, because it looked like maybe one of these eggs was hatching. Hold on, I'll be right back. Never mind. I think it was just turning. My quail eggs, I have quail eggs in the incubator. So yeah, I am very happy with the purchase. I am not, like I said, not affiliated, not sponsored, didn't get any money off, saved up for it and said, I want to do this because I want to preserve my food. Like, I felt like that was the last thing that I wasn't doing well. Not the last thing, but I felt like it was one of the things that I'm not doing well. One of the things that I wasn't doing well was using what I was preserving. Just, you know, being honest with y'all. For me, totally worth it. If you want more videos like this, put it in the comments so that if you don't, I don't keep making them, but I'm definitely still gonna keep using my freeze dryer. I hope some of the questions were answered. I wrote them all down, but I felt like I was still just going all over. Okay, so we went through the cost. We went through the location of where my freeze dryer is. I mean, I guess we went through the setup. It's very simple. You screw your pump into the freeze dryer. This is the cord that comes from the pump. It actually goes into the freeze dryer, not into the wall. And then this is the cord that goes into the wall. It already comes with this inside of it, and it also comes with this already attached. Honestly, it's pretty much set up. Oh, one of the things that did annoy me is this piece right here. This is literally gonna come inside of the machine and you have to get it out. I was quite annoyed. But once you get it out, you put the tubing on here and that simple, you ready to go. Oh, and you gotta put your oil in here. They tell you, see where it says max? You don't want it at max. You want it in between the min and the max, as I understand it. That's how I've been running mine. That's what I found in my research. And y'all can trust that I actually did do my research on this. It costs too much money. But this is where it unscrews, you pour it in, and you want to pour it pretty slowly because you'll get to max before you know it. And ask me how I know. But you can take this off and you can drain the oil out. But after that, you are ready to go. Like, you set up and ready to go. So sturdy table, bucket bowl, a plug that nothing else is plugged into, and you are ready to go. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was helpful, y'all. We have quite a few questions to get to, so I just want y'all to know that. This is just me saying, let me pick some basic stuff first, and then we can move through it after that. And I'm covering up the bottom because my tax person called and told me the other stuff that she needed, and I wrote down the numbers. Anyway, I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.